Merry Christmas to everyone. My name is Dr. Ken Stevens, aka Mr. We Take Another Shot, and I'm a film producer and co-founder of a film production company called CPE. Recently, I released a video on my social media platforms, and this video has been making a lot of waves. A lot of you have been asking me a lot of questions like, how did you do this video? Why did you do this video like this? And one of you went on my comment section and asked me to do a breakdown for this video. And that's why I'm here today, to break down the video of Wani, titled Ndolo. Follow me to the studio, let's go.
Okay, so the name of the artist is Wani. Wani is a Cameroonian artist, and he recently dropped an album called Another Man. And Ndolo is one of the singles in this album. And Ndolo is a story of a man who is just a tailor, a simple tailor, and he has a woman. He does everything to satisfy his woman financially, but at the end of the day, he doesn't succeed. This is just a simple story. So in this video, I was trying to make it very simple. I also wanted to have some elements of old school and some nostalgia feeling. So we have 3 themes in this video. The first theme is vintage retro look with some class. So you can see we're trying to bring back that vintage retro feeling, that old school feeling in the 90s and the 2000s. But then we added some class, some taste, and some swag to it. Also, fashion is one of the elements in this video. Obviously, you can trust my designer, Breeze Styles. He's the one who designed for this video. He did a great job when it comes to fashion. I wanted fashion to be part of this video because I feel like it's gonna, hook the audience into the video, taking them back in time, but then keeping them in this present moment, with the fashion and all that. Yeah, so the last element in this video is a comedy, humor. I wanted to have comedy in this video, just not too much, just very small, but then something that could help hook the audience too and make them laugh at the end. And that's why we brought in Godis, Fongwa, to play the role at the end of the video. So those are basically the themes I wanted for this video. When he sent the song to me, it was actually very interesting because he sampled the Baby Manga and Tomiyon's song, and this is Makosa in its origin, and these were the songs we listened to when we were kids, growing up. So it took me back then. The song just took me right to that time when we were growing up, So I had to draw a visual board that can best explain this feeling that I had as a kid, and that's how I came up with the visual board. So this is my visual board, and I have 4 main scenes. The first scene is a parlor scene, and in this parlor scene, we're going to establish our main character, which is Wani, and what he does for a living, which is sewing clothes. And then we're also going to introduce his girl or his woman, and the main story in this scene is that the woman will be leaving, like she's trying to leave the house because there's no money, so she's packing her bags, and Wani tries to convince her to stay back, so that's the first scene. So you can see some props we used for this scene. I used the old VHS TV, 3GP. I think this TV is 3GP, and I placed in it the video, the official video of Tomiyon's and Baby Manga, Nameya. That's the title of the song Wani sampled in his song. So I had to put this just to, honor these legends that made good music for Cameroonians, and we're paying homage to these legends through this image or picture. If you take a look at this shot is actually very special because this is how people used to snap photos in those days. They would stand in front of a flower, like a heap of flower or grass, and take their photos, because back then that was the best background anyone could have. If you have lived at that time, you know what I'm talking about. It was the best background anyone could have. Flowers, trees, nature. Human beings always love to take photos in front of them. So that's why I decided to take this shot, with these flowers. And then they are all dressed very fashionable, with the old radio and, some swag, pipe and all that. So the next scene was a photography scene. The photography scene, it's very special for me because I remember back then when we were kids, it was so difficult to have a camera. It was so expensive. So in every area, in any street or hood, you have just one person having a camera, and this person will have a photography shop or a photography studio where everyone in that neighborhood would come and take photos there. So in the studio, you always have, funny backgrounds like this, backgrounds with a beautiful house, and backgrounds, crazy backgrounds, and you just come and stand in front of them and you take your photo. And it was so beautiful because it's like you're dreaming to have or to go to that space one day. And look at the poses, some crazy old-fashioned poses that really give some swag, and I like them. So I just took these photos to help guide me when I'm shooting, so I could take the same poses. Like if you can see here, like this pose, it's inspired by this. You can see that. So you can also see the set design. See this set design right over here. I tried to make it here just with my own feeling, you see. And that's how I took this scene. You can see the screenshot of a house behind the sticker. So basically, it was very interesting because it's like I'm taking the viewers back in those days when I used to experience life as a kid. That's how I see this video. So as you can see here, we didn't really do much when it comes to lighting. I just wanted something very simple, natural. We placed one light here, which separates them from the background and also serves as a headlight, like just normal lights in the house, And then we all had like a warm temperature light coming from this way, just to separate them from this color light, which is kind of like daylight. So this warm color just kind of helps separate them, help create that contrast. And then also we turn on this old vintage light here, which produces warm color. Obviously that helps to fill in this space right over here. And then we shot like that, very simple, like 3-point lighting. Mostly we used 2 lights, and then we used one practical light, which is this light that you see in the shot. And then you see we're done. So lighting, most of the times you don't need to like go too much too deep. Just very simple things really catch the eyes. I created a mash cut effect, which helps to like enhance the storytelling of this scene. So I really give a big shout out to my makeup artist, aesthetic makeup, Tiki Esther, and also hairstylist. She did the hairstyles, and also assisted by Marilu. They both did hairstyles for this video, the longs, the bakalas, the afros, all that. These are the typical hairstyles of an African woman in those days. Yeah, so I really appreciate them for that. The next scene was a street scene. This street scene basically was just to show you the lifestyle of a Cameroonian at that time. But then I wanted to blend in some swag and class into their way of dressing, mixing some of that Congolese feeling. And when the Congolese dress, right, they're always looking sapology and all that. So I wanted to add that element in our scene. And this is the street scene. You can see that we're trying to get the same kind of look. Shots like these, very interesting shots. I love the shoes, the fact that they're shiny, and then you have that natural broken ties, which is normal in every African location. They always have these broken ties on the floor, which creates some contrast and depth. And then the last thing, the off-licensing, it's very special for me because as a kid, I grew up in an off-license. My dad owned one back in the days, and I will always be there in the evening when he's selling, and I will see how older people or men and women will come over there and just chill, drink every evening. They'll just come, they'll drink, they'll dance till it's late, and then they'll all go back home. So for me, I was just trying to replicate this feeling I got when I was a kid. And in those times, the off-license would have very special decorations. Like if you see the blinds are made of beer covers. And also in those times in Boya, there used to be the biggest club house in Boya at that time used to be M&G, that's men and girls. So I was trying to replicate that same feeling, and that's why I did a VFX and placed the VFX right over here. I made a green board and I placed it here, and I replaced the green board with this logo, M&G nightclub. Just to stimulate that feeling. Anyone who has been in Boya in those times would know what is M&G. That's the story I was telling. I placed one or two characters by the side, just to fill up the space, and I shoot from this motorcycle just to create that depth, and then have our main characters coming. Also, I was trying not to overlight this scene because it's not always very properly lighted. Like if you go to an off-license, you barely see the faces of people very well because it's kind of dark, but then you'll still see some light, but not too much. So that's why I was trying to not have too much light in this scene. I wanted it to be very natural. I wanted it to feel like the light that lights our characters are natural lights from practical resources. And you see, this is Richard, this is Godis Fongwa, and this is the character that brought in the humor in this video. A very interesting character, a good actor. He's great. You should check him out. He has great content, and that's it. So basically, this video, that's how we shot this video, and I hope you like the video. If you haven't watched the video, you could go watch it on YouTube. I'll leave the link below. You go watch it and let me know what you think. But I think this video is a masterpiece, because if you're a Cameroonian and you've lived in Cameroon in the 90s and 2000s, when you watch this video takes you back in those times, and that is what I wanted to achieve. This is what the artist wanted to achieve. So we did a great job, and I'm so happy about this. So once again, my name is Dr. Ken Stevens, aka Mr. Will Take Another Shot, and thanks for staying around. See you next time. Okay, we take another shot.